just Tawana Andrew.
In the know for Tuesday, February 16, the 47th day of 2021. There are 318 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station, 103.9 The Moose. Live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud or iTunes podcast. On Facebook Watch, on YouTube Live, on Periscope, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Not quite as much precipitation as maybe we were expecting, but still an adventure, and will it be an adventure for the next couple of days? Plus, things happening in Washington, honest product slogans, and we've got that and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm having to reboot over here, so.
You're rebooting, trying to get all your
Yeah.
stuff going.
Yeah.
I did say you're not rolling Mach 9 because I'm the one who's carrying you where
That's
you're
right.
going. So if you're rolling Mach 9, I guess that means I'm rolling Mach 9, and clearly my hair's already been on fire because it evacuated the premises. If you want to avoid an accident while you are driving, don't drive a black car. Black cars are more likely to be involved in an accident. According to research, black cars have a 12% higher accident rate during daylight driving hours, while at dawn and dusk, the figure rises significantly to 47%. Gray and silver cars were the most accident-prone, next followed by red and blue. I assume it's a
Well-
visibility thing?
Well, I think maybe because there are more black cars, right?
You think just because it's more? I think,
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe if we only knew a transportation expert, we could ask him. We'll do that momentarily. She's the pride of Pumpkin Center, the heiress to the great mini burger fortune. She's Vera Wang's arch nemesis and the professional bargain hunter's woman of the year. She's Misty Embry Thomas. Hey. How's Misty?
I'm alive. I'm
You're
here and
alive.
yes.
So you said you did it, but you shouldn't have done
I
it.
shouldn't have done it,
Yeah?
but I did it. Yeah, I like to not get out of my subdivision because of the way that the tile dips down. That snow built up,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't get my car out. So by the fourth attempt, I went up on the curb. I think in the landscaping a little bit. Sorry to the people there
Okay.
that share the subdivision.
That's what you pay your homeowners dues for, or your dues
Yeah,
fees
yeah,
for
yeah,
your
yeah, to
that's
fix
what
my
that's what they're
mistakes.
there for.
Yes.
What's your favorite snow day activity, Misty?
Work.
that is our snow day.
That's the only activity I get on a
That's
snow day.
When snowed in, most people love to curl up with a good book. Taking a nap is our second favorite snow day activity, followed by watching TV. Whatever it is, don't go outside today because the temperature is bitter. It was single digits on the way in this morning, and single digits is probably what we'll have throughout tomorrow morning. We'll start off quiet, but a band of light snow expected later in the afternoon tomorrow. See some light accumulations. 22 is the high for today, 9 overnight tonight. 28 for tomorrow, but it's going to be a weird timing on the 28. We'll talk about that more with Chris Jesse in just a moment. But a reminder, Beej and I saw a woman out on foot this morning walking at the intersection of the Thomason Byway and US 62, and luckily the vehicle right in front of us stopped and offered some assistance, and because if they hadn't, we would have. But it's just that you cannot be out on foot, especially that far away from structure, and it's just look after your fellow man and woman right now. If you have elderly neighbors that might not, have ability to communicate, check on them, because temperatures just are going to be really, really cold. We say good morning to Chris Jesse. It's cold out there, isn't it, Chris? So let's go back to yesterday. By the way, thanks for joining us and kind of updating us on District 4 for the Transportation Cabinet. Yesterday was one of those, we were bracing, I guess, for more precipitation, but the sleet, it sleeted for so long that it takes so much more moisture to make sleet that it took it out of the atmosphere, so that made less snow. Is that how that worked? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right in that range. Yeah. Very dynamic. Differently. Is that right, Chris? It just depending upon the type of precipitation determines the tool that you take after the job? Right. So, how would you describe road conditions right now? We've seen some various images of various areas today. We've been taking some of our own. I know you all are continuing to work. If you had to grade road conditions right now, what kind of assessment would you give them? Yeah. So let's kind of talk about the forecast. As the weather forecast impacts the transportation cabinet, you mentioned you'll get some snow, you'll get some solar leakage today, you'll get some solar impact, which will help make some progress. But then temperatures back into the deep freeze tonight. We're calling for 9 here in the region, but closer to the north could get further north could get down around 0 or so. But tomorrow they've adjusted the high somewhat. But yesterday was going to be tomorrow was going to be one of those deals. When I looked at it yesterday, was that throughout the afternoon and into the night, the temperature was going to increase even in the evening hours, which made me wonder, does that really, even if it's at night, does that help you all when the temperature gets up to, say, 34, 35? Can you do a lot of work in a short period of time with the aid of the temperature? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the update. We'll keep an eye on things. And just as always, I don't think many of us really understand some of the things that you all are facing out there. And so we appreciate all your efforts and also your efforts to keep us informed. All right. Thanks, Chris. We'll talk to you soon. That's Chris Jesse from the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet District 4. And also, if you're watching along, able to see some of the photography from this morning. So, all right. There are a lot of people who are out playing in the snow, but I would do it for very short periods of time, ladies.
I saw coming in at 5, it was about 10 after 5, quarter after 5 this morning. I'd finally gotten to almost the red light in town. And there were 2 guys out making snow angels. And I thought, you need to get back home. It's
face up
10
or face
degrees.
down? Were they face up?
They were face up at one point. I was afraid somebody was going to find them face down if they didn't get home soon.
Yeah. Governor Beshear announced yesterday that last week was the 5th consecutive week of a decline in new cases of the coronavirus. And he says that's a significant drop. It's the lowest we've had since the week of October 22nd. So that's good news. He also announced a slight change in the vaccine priority for one group. They are moving child care workers into 1B. Child care workers were 1C.
That makes sense.
And they are now moving to 1B, so giving them a little bit of a fast track ahead of the rest of the essential crews. So that's good. The actual numbers yesterday, 723. It's the lowest since October 12th.
Yeah.
389,000 is the total. 9 COVID-related deaths yesterday. The rolling 7-day positivity rate, 6.57. Keep on trucking. Hospitalizations are now under 1,000.
Right.
Hospitalizations in Kentucky are under 1,000. And ventilators down, ICU down. All good news on that regard. Josh Embry from the Grayson County Health Department also says good news for Grayson County at the present time. 24 new cases reported yesterday since last Tuesday, which was their last update. So all of last week is a total of 24, 64 active cases. So we're certainly improving in that category. So good news on that front. The Grayson County Sheriff's Office arrested a man on methamphetamine charges. The second time the suspect has been busted for possessing meth. Sunday night about 8:15. Grayson County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Fred Norder was dispatched to a parking lot in Short Creek. A U-Haul was found parked in a lot for an extended period of time with the lights on, and a male passed out behind the wheel. They found 42-year-old Jason Porter of Louisville asleep in the driver's seat and an odor of marijuana coming from the cab of the vehicle. Admitted to smoking marijuana, said there was marijuana in the vehicle, and he was driving on a suspended license, lodged and given warmth for at least the overnight hours. A Hart County company announcing a planned expansion is being expanded and is going to add over 200 new jobs. T. Marzetti Company in Horse Cave announced last year they would expand its manufacturing facility by 140 jobs, but yesterday announced they had been expanded from the investment had been from 93 to 133 million, resulting in the addition of 220 more jobs, and they are currently now up to 500 people. So a lot of people in southeastern, probably Grayson County, would maybe be within the orbit of the T. Marzetti Company. I guess their products are available on store shelves. I usually see them at buffets and, salads and so.
Yeah, no, you can buy them in stores.
You can. Mm-hmm. So when you see those, you're, supporting.
Right beside the Bell cheese.
That's good. That's where you.
It's not really, but it should be, right?
That's where you put it.
Kentucky-based products.
House Speaker
together.
Nancy Pelosi said yesterday that Congress will establish an independent September 11 style commission to look into the deadly insurrection that took place at the U.S. Capitol. She said the commission will investigate and report on the facts and causes relating to the January 6, 2021 domestic terrorist attack that upon the U.S. Capitol complex. This is a quote from her, and relating to the interference with the peaceful transfer of power. I was a little bit troubled this morning to see that there's some estimates that the National Guard will be stationed in Washington until fall.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
And so what it says to me is they've got some underlying security issues that they think is going to take them that long before they could release the National Guard back to, I'd say there will be some rotations in and out of there. But I got to tell you, I'm usually in Washington this time of year for a couple of days, and not going to be this year. But it would be heartbreaking to be there and have to go through a big fence and a big military, checkpoint to have to get to, the cradle of democracy that's there. It just it really saddens me that we're to that point. And I didn't like the idea of the September 11th style commission to figure out what happened, but there's some bipartisan support for this. It's not just Pelosi, because when I read that it was her doing it, I thought, well, she's just going to try and, just keep going back to this as long as she can. And I don't think that serves her well. I think the more that she, just tries to club people over the head with that, I think the more likely that she's going to lose that gavel in a year and a half. Or on the midterm cycle on that. But there are some other people, there's some people who have been censured by their own parties, Republicans, who are saying, if you have an opportunity to see what we've been able to see, some of the evidence that we've been able to see on actually who knew what and when they knew it and what happened and the call logs and all those things, you will feel differently about it. And, you've got a group of people who are going to be Trump supporters to the very end, and they're so far in, nothing could happen that would change their minds. Like they'll be able to defend him at all costs because they're so vested. Like they got so much of themselves wrapped up in it. It's like, I'm unwilling to allow another school of thought. But then you've got a lot of other people who are probably conservatives and understand the future of the party and understand that he might be dangerous for the future of the party if you're a fan of conservatism. And that, I think those are the people that they're trying to appeal to say, Cassidy. Bill Cassidy, a senator from Louisiana, he said that he was attempting to hold President Trump accountable and added that as Americans hear all the facts, more folks will move to where I was. Making his vote.
I think it's very telling that Mitch McConnell has made the statements that he's made. And I think that it is only fair that we, the general public, get to see all of the evidence so that we can make a sound decision. But you're right. There are people that Trump is the hill they're going to die on.
The one thing is troubling. The one thing that continues to puzzle me a little bit is that he said that he was no longer part of the purview of the Senate, and that's one of the reasons, or maybe the driving reason that he voted no, or he voted not guilty. but the Senate had voted in a majority just a few days earlier that it was worthy of having an impeachment trial.
Right.
So it's like, well, if it was worthy of having an impeachment trial, it was after he had already left office that vote was held. So that seems a little contradictory.
Right,
but
does.
maybe in the meantime, they realized, hey, he's not the president. There's not anything we can. If somebody else wants to go after him criminally, then that would be up to them. But it's not something for the Senate to take up, I think was his point. The new high school basketball polls are out in Kentucky. New number one on the boys' side. Lexington Catholic is at number one. Bowling Green fell down to number 6. And Anderson County remains the number one girls' team in the state. Ryan Howard and the rest of the UK women, ranked at number 17, defeated Florida 85-73 in Gainesville last night. Gainesville probably would have been a good place to be last night. I mean, as opposed to being here, because it was code.
Yeah.
CODE. Code. All right. When we come back, got plenty more on the way. Ladies, I have an important question to ask of the two of you.
Oh, dear.
Regarding your whereabouts yesterday.
Okay. All right.
All that's coming up here on In the Know.
Have you ever felt like you needed to talk to someone who could help you sort out your thoughts? The counselors at Fuller Life Counseling Partners can do just that. Looking for a counselor can be stressful, but know that we are here to help. We help people to live better, fuller lives by providing individualized attention and proven strategies to overcome problems. Gain a fuller life today by going to our website, fullerlifecounseling.org, or call 270-904-5104.
If you're the average person, you only think about income taxes from January to April. But the choices you make 12 months a year have a big impact on your tax return preparation and even your refund. Making adjustments to your financial matters during tax filing season is like trying to lose weight during a routine doctor visit. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart work year-round to advise clients on important financial decisions so that during tax filing season, you're carrying a lot less stress and worry. Join the Peace of Mind team with Buckles, Travis & Hart, 270-259-5604. Or GraysonCPAs.com.
When you're feeling under the weather or concerned about your family's health, you want the support of a trusted medical provider who lives close by and is available to care for you and your family. Dr. Gregory Koo is a family medicine physician who is putting down roots in this community. With 22 years' experience, he's now accepting new patients in both Caneyville and at Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center in Litchfield. Learn more online at owensborohealth.org/KOO.
Rural King's Pet Food Prices has pet lovers going wow! Rural King has a huge selection filled with top brands including Science Diet, Purina, and Diamond. And with the Pet Food Price Guarantee, we won't be beat. And when you use the Harvest Card, get an extra 5% back on all Rural King purchases. That's 5% back on pet food, pet beds, treats, toys, and for that matter, everything else. See store for complete details. And if you find a cheaper price, we'll beat it at your neighborhood Rural King, America's farm and home store.
You knew the risks when you decided to drive drunk. There could be a crash. People could get hurt or killed. But that didn't stop you, did it? You knew you could get arrested. You could incur huge legal expenses, and you could possibly even lose your job. You were well aware of the consequences of driving drunk.
Say they no longer need big tech to operate. Parler has now been constructed using independent technology, giving the company the freedom to run as they see fit. Current site users can get back on Parler this week. This after the social media platform was suspended by Amazon's web hosting services and removed from the Apple App Store following the January 6th Capitol riot. Some claim Parler was hosting discussions regarding members invading the building without any regulation or censorship. Some changes from the world of automobiles. Jaguar's looking to sell only electric cars, while Land Rover will move to make the majority of its vehicles electric. The parent company behind both car brands says this will begin in 2025. And billionaire Elon Musk knows a thing or two about electric cars. He's also into cryptocurrency and now says he wants the top investors in Dogecoin to sell. That's because he thinks the common person's being shut out from potential ownership. Tech Report, James Flippin, NBC.
Today is Fat Tuesday.
Well,
We just had Fat Thursday, so
Well.
I'm feeling fat,
Yeah.
so okay.
okay.
I guess
Got my stretchy pants on today, so I'm prepared.
that makes tomorrow Ash Wednesday.
Yep, that's right. It
So
does.
it's going to be a cold Ash Wednesday. And it is Do a Grouch a Favor Day today.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you suddenly find out people are doing several nice things for you today, that may be indicative of what they think of you.
I don't know that I know a grouch.
I think if you thought long and hard enough, you probably could think of one. And it's also Innovation Day today.
Okay.
Innovating. Absolutely. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about the Nuttermobile.
Yep. Future job.
And or nutmobilers or whatever that you all are thinking about doing. And then it got snow. You all talked about how, that might be a job, a side hustle that you all might like to do.
Yeah.
But you talked about beefing up your resume, driving the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Yep.
So a friend of the show, Leanne,
Yep.
she sent a picture to me yesterday, and it calls into question your all's whereabouts and maybe who is responsible. Here's a photograph from friend of the show, Leanne.
It wasn't me.
Shows that somebody's wiener's in the ditch. The question is, which one of you piled up the Wienermobile off the road? And I thought, all right, Misty was surely driving because she would have insisted on it.
Well,
And-
she wouldn't have driven it.
Right. She would
Yeah.
she would say,
So,
no, I'm going to
yeah,
ride over
yeah,
here
I'll
and
ride and-
control the volume
I'm
of the
always
radio.
passenger. Yeah.
So, but
It's such a great footage.
isn't it a great photo of the Wienermobile being off the
so
road in the
something.
snow?
That's me trying to get to work this morning is what that is.
Well,
That
which
is
would have gone
fantastic.
better, the Wienermobile or your car? You think the Wienermobile is front wheel drive or you think it's rear wheel drive?
The Wienermobile didn't make it, so I had to backtrack. And I was the woman on the corner this morning trying to get back to my car.
Well, good news is I'm willing to get out and help push you out of the ditch.
Yeah,
So-
that's a little bigger than we can push. That was the problem there.
Well, thanks to Leanne for that. But she
That's
did
hilarious.
wonder. She said she wondered which one of you,
Which one of the girls?
what roles would you all be playing in this? And I thought to self, Misty's driving. Misty was probably eating chocolate and driving the Wienermobile with her knee.
Yeah, now I do drive with my knee.
That's a very
I used
Caneyville
to
thing. If you
drive-
grew up in Caneyville, you got to drive with
I
your
used
knee.
to drive with my knee. I don't do that anymore, officers. The good news is we still have the Planner's Peanut Mobile
Sure.
that we've not wrecked yet. So there is still a backup game plan for a side
That's your
hustle.
summer car.
That's my summer car.
That is, without a doubt, that is your summer car.
That's the best photo. I'm going to need that photo printed out for my desk frame. Larry, that just makes me
If you
happy
need
to
your own
see.
copy, it was shared with me and I was tagged.
Okay,
so
very
you
good.
and I
Yeah.
just pulled it
Yeah.
down and
It'd be nice
That
on
is
my
so funny.
sent it to Sam.
Right.
What does Oscar Mayer say about that, right?
Who cares? That's hilarious.
Do
Are-
you immediately lose your job if you wreck the Wienermobile?
Well, it doesn't look like it was damaged too much. It just, slid
Just a
off.
busted
and
up bun.
is precariously placed. A new viral TikTok challenge. All right, queen of TikTok over there.
Oh, yeah, I do
has
love the
many
TikTok.
women coming out on top and men bottoming out. This is called the Center of Gravity Challenge. Are you familiar with this yet, Misty?
Nope.
Okay, what you need to do is you need to get down on your knees, rest on your arms in front of you.
Sounds like downward dog.
All right, so far I kind of understand this.
Okay.
Raise your hands to your chin while using your elbows to keep you balanced.
Okay. Yeah.
You got it?
Yep.
Then try to put your hands behind your back. Wait a minute. So elbows keep you balanced.
Hands
and
under
then put your
chin.
hands behind your back. Yeah, that's what it says. It says,
Okay.
rest your arms in front of you, raise your hands to your chin while using your elbows to keep you balanced. Then try to put your hands behind your back. What generally happens is that men immediately tumble to the floor while most women are able to hold the pose.
Well, because this is how women in medieval times gave birth, right?
Well, partly because listen to what it says. It says that
Oh, okay.
apparently it all
that
comes
makes
down to
more
our
sense.
centers of gravity and mass. A man's center of gravity is located at the center of his chest, at his sternum, while a woman's center of gravity is located in the center of her pelvis.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's why women can do it. Oh, I see.
Oh, so they-
so
Oh,
you
that
got to
makes
pull your
so much
elbows
more
off the
sense.
floor.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Men will topple forward and break their noses.
so fun.
Yeah.
We're doing that today at our house.
Yeah, so that's what you all can try that and see. I can already tell you I can't do it.
You
I
sure?
couldn't do that. I couldn't. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you should try it today and then bring in footage tomorrow.
No, I'm going to assign that to homework for you all.
I'm going to do it today. I'm going to see if Jason will do it with me. Eli will for sure do it with me.
Nestle is going to test a vegan Kit Kat later this year, and I'm not sure. I'm a little bit troubled.
I don't think you can have chocolate without milk, right?
Well, yeah, you can't have milk chocolate without milk. You might be able to have some type of dark chocolate without milk, because it's not called dark milk chocolate. It's called milk chocolate, or it's called dark chocolate. This story met me a little bit differently today because I watched the 60 Minutes piece with Bill Gates from this last weekend,
Okay.
from day before yesterday. And it talks about Bill Gates, where his energies have been for the last few years, is tackling climate change, and it won't be able to be done just through greenhouse gas emissions. We're not going to be able to change that just simply by, we don't have enough time left to just change it by what we're polluting in the air.
Right.
He says things like the way different foods, changing the way that we eat foods. So like fungi, there are companies now that are using fungi, not mushrooms, fungi to grow food that he says he's a burger snob, that some of these companies now are being able to master the creation of food sources that you won't know the difference, whether they're actual beef or whether they're grown in a laboratory. Now, I'm not convinced of that, but he says that he is. And what he means is, if we can do our food differently, it means the less trucks that are hauling at places. It's changing. He says it's changing the way we make concrete. It's changing the way that we do everything. Is the only way that we're ever actually going to save it.
So the ripple effect of all of the changes will be the solution.
Yes, he said that it will be the greatest feat in the history of mankind if humanity can solve it.
Okay.
Anyway, my point is, it's a very interesting piece.
Okay.
And today, when I read that Nestle's trying to do vegan Kit Kat, it's like, well, I've always been very, you can forget it, not interested. Vegan, bring me beef, more beef, more beef, more
You
beef.
want all the gluten.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I am wondering, and probably not so much in the remainder of my lifetime, but it does make me wonder how in 20 years, the way we'll look at food differently than we might look at it now.
Okay. The actual production of the food
The production of food
could matter for the world itself.
Yes. It's an interesting, I would encourage you, again, I've been on the side of, give me beef. I don't want fake food. I want real food. But I'm saying if you'll go to 60 Minutes and you'll watch that piece, and if you've been under a line of thinking like me, it might knock the door open just enough where you go, well, is this really the future? Or will they still have to drag me kicking and screaming going,
Well, I'm not totally opposed to watching it, but as a daughter of a dairy farmer and beef farmer. That's hard for me.
Sure. Absolutely. And we're all kind of raised in that region where we wonder, like, well, what's the role of farmers in that? Well, the fact of the matter is the independent farmer is vanishing already. The choices we're making are already having those impacts. So
But in the 80s, we could not imagine not having tobacco farms either.
Mm-hmm.
And we've somehow sufficed and figured it out. Now, I didn't grow up on a tobacco farm. I stripped tobacco for my uncle in the summer as a side job. But I didn't know the economic impact. But I think that it was okay. We've not seen a tremendous amount of pushback from that.
Well, I think it's been painful over the long run.
Right.
It's over the long run, maybe it hasn't been painful,
Right,
but day to day and year to year, I'm sure it's been very painful for a lot of
I was too young to see the immediate
family
Band-Aid
farms.
ripped off.
That's
So,
right. All right, list of weird things that we all do.
my entire life is weird.
All of us pile up our Wienermobile in the ditch on snow days.
The fact that I drive a
what you got?
Wienermobile to
we do.
work, right? Let's start there.
Okay, here we go. Whether you want to admit it or not, here are weird things that we all do.
Okay.
1, we pretend to look at something else when someone is blocking the product you want in the grocery store.
Well,
Someone standing in
used
front of
to.
the peanut butter. Yeah, we don't.
No, we don't
Fortunately,
do that
I don't have to
anymore.
pick out our own groceries anymore. Well, I pick them out on a screen. I want that and that and that and that. But you do that thing where a person's in front of the peanut butter and you're just trying to get to the peanut butter. So you pretend, look at the jelly.
this.
Look at the new kinds of jelly they got here. Isn't that great? I didn't want any jelly.
Yeah, get
I'm
out
just
of my
trying to
way.
be.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be.
Trying to not make you feel like
Considerate,
you're
like,
bothering me, even though you are bothering me because
That's right.
I'm the only one that should be shopping right
We
now. That's
all
what we think.
become immediately repulsed after touching wet food in the sink.
Gross.
I had that same reaction when I read it.
Oh, you're gonna read it? It makes me go, whoa.
Yeah, wet, soggy food. No.
Oh, so why'd you have to add the soggy? Oh. Give me a minute.
We all rehearse arguments in our heads that will probably never happen.
Oh, in the car, and I am good at it.
Do you always win?
I'm a great lawyer. I really should have gone to law school.
Nope, I don't do that.
Refuse to eat until you find the perfect show on Netflix.
Refuse to eat?
Eat. Yeah, when you sit down to eat, you got to get something going on the screen before you'll start eating.
No,
Do
I
you do
never
that?
refuse to eat. That's not a problem.
There must
I
be
have.
somebody else picking out the TV show.
I don't have that problem.
Smile awkwardly at someone you know, but don't know well enough to say hi to.
Yeah, so let me tell you what my dad taught me, and I still do, and I'm probably going to get in trouble someday for not being politically correct. But I give the awkward smile, and I go, "Oh, hi, hon, how are you? Oh, sweetheart, it's good to see you."
Hey, buckaroo.
No idea who
Hey,
you
pal.
are. Yeah.
I've been known to do that.
Yeah.
Yes. And it makes it even harder in the social media era. You see someone, you think, I think I'm friends with that person on Facebook.
Yeah. Listen,
Am I? Is that the same person or is that someone different? So I just try to say hello to
if
everyone.
you want me
Hey,
to know who you are, change your profile picture that is not your dog,
Gonna need
your
to be more
grandchildren, or you in the 80s.
yes.
I don't know who you are.
Yes, absolutely.
Help me here.
Reread an email immediately after you've sent it.
And it gets me every time.
You go, oh, how did that get in there? How did I not catch that?
I didn't mean to say I love you.
Stop the microwave 1 second before it goes off.
Every time if I can. That beeping is the most obnoxious sound in the world.
Some of us leave it there. Just 1 second showing.
It drives him crazy.
Some of us use the clock on the microwave, so if it says 1, the time can't be 1.
He asked me the other day, did you need those 7 seconds?
I do.
And we all spell out February in our heads,
Absolutely.
I'm more of a Wednesday girl.
especially on a Wednesday in February. We got to get to a break. When we come back, plenty more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
We're off and running, Kentucky. Thousands of Kentuckians have already received the COVID-19 vaccine, and more doses continue to arrive. We're on our way to getting folks back to work and getting our kids back at school. It's a shot of relief, a shot of hope. All you have to do is keep doing your part. We can't all get the vaccine at once, but we'll all get a turn. Get the facts at kycovid19.ky.gov.
The 2021 Honda Pioneer lineup is here to make light work of the job and add a heavy dose of fun to your day off. Every Pioneer side-by-side is stock full of smart technology, responsive power, and Honda's hallmark of engineering excellence. The only thing left to add is you. Then you'll understand how life is better on a Honda. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet and eye protection, always wear your seatbelt, and keep the side nets and doors closed. Pioneers are for drivers 16 years and older.
Are you looking for something unusual or hard to find? You might just find it on HighBid.com. It's the online auction site for, well, just about everything. HighBid.com has estate sales, closeouts, liquidations, even government-seized vehicle auctions. It's easy to bid on office furniture, antiques, sports memorabilia, restaurant equipment, motorboats, even arcade games. You can search for items by name or simply see where the next page takes you. Visit HighBid.com. That's HIBID.com and find out what you're looking for today.
The best football teams always get the call right, and you need to make the right call before you excavate. If you don't and you damage a natural gas line, the Kentucky Public Service Commission will investigate, and you could be fined up to $1,250. So make the right call. Put safety first. Call 811 before you dig.
Touchdown! Oh my goodness!
This message brought to you by the Kentucky Public Service Commission.
Hey, I just found $7 in my coat pocket.
Wow, so how should we spend this windfall?
We?
Well, you can't blame a girl.
Yeah, what can we get for $7 these days anyway?
Well, believe it or not, at Bluegrass Cellular you can get an iPhone.
For $7? No way.
Or an Apple Watch.
You're dreaming.
I guess our dreams are coming true. At Bluegrass Cellular, we can get iPhone SE and Apple Watch SE, each for $7 a month.
$7? Pinch me. Hey!
Ha! The advanced camera system, the Retina HD display, the SE has everything we love about iPhone at its dreamiest price.
And don't sleep on Apple Watch. I can stay on time, stay in shape, and stay connected with the SE.
Right. Hey, where are you going?
To check my other pockets. I want to get them both.
Restrictions apply. Shop online or in store. Bluegrass Cellular, your community expanded.
The federal government provides $150 billion a year to make higher education possible for anyone. Completing the free application for federal student aid, known as the FAFSA, is the first step to getting your share. But an estimated $40 million in financial aid is left on the table each year by Kentucky students. Don't let that happen to you.
Fill out the new and improved FAFSA today. Visit knowhowtogoky.org and join the conversation on Twitter, #KnowHowToPayKY. This message is brought to you by the Pritchard Committee Student Voice Team and the Council on Post-Secondary Education.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Use caution while traveling because many untreated roads will remain very slick, especially for the morning commute. Light snow and flurries remain in the forecast as we head through the day. Highs today only into the upper teens and low 20s tonight. We're going to drop down into the single digits. From the Wave 3 News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Juana Andrew.
Born in a hurry, always late, haven't been early since 88.
Did you know the term brain freeze was invented by 7-Eleven? Well, yeah.
Okay.
You all slurpied us to death.
Yeah,
You slurpied us into paralysis.
Yeah.
So they had to come up with a phrase for it, and they did. So we have 7-Eleven. I mean, they're the ones who caused it, so it might as well be.
Yeah, what'd you do in 88? Slurpied to death?
Slurpee, yeah. I remember, well, around these parts, we had to settle for the slush puppies.
Yeah, yeah.
But, man, we could rock the slush puppy.
And our hush puppies.
All right,
Yeah.
so which color did you all choose? Which
always
flavor?
the red.
I was blue.
Were you
always,
blue?
Yeah, I always had to have
Yeah,
blue.
still red.
I was
today.
also blue.
I was a blue slush puppier. Yeah, it's absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Could be why I was sick all the time since I have a red food dye allergy that I'm just now discovering.
Think that might have had something to do with it. Hey, have you all seen the painting of and the painting skills of Kim and Kanye's daughter, North.
No.
She is 7 years old.
What?
And is getting a lot of attention for, listen, look,
Wow.
she's 7.
Wow.
And painted that portrait.
That child's been on the Bob Ross TikTok.
Well, what's funny is that it got the attention from the Bob Ross Experience, which is a
Sure.
museum that is housed in a refurbished version of Ross's former studio. The company was thrilled to see North's painting and that they're inviting her to visit the Muncie, Indiana Museum. Listen, that's really great for 70 years old.
That's good for 77 years
That's
old.
good for 17, 27.
It's for all the sevens. No, that's impressive. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, where has she been invited?
Muncie, Indiana is where the Bob Ross Museum
No.
is. It's his former studio. That's, the Muncie Museum is where his studio is where they filmed his show. So, I mean, imagine the number of times a little bit of blue was said in those walls. A little bit of blue, a little bit of blue, a little bit of blue. Put a little tree, a little tree, a little tree. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry book a sit-down primetime interview with Oprah. If there's not enough Meghan and Harry in your life, well, that's about to be remedied. The interview is going to air on Sunday, March 7th at 7 p.m. Central Time on CBS. Oprah will interview the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
I just want to know who that is behind him with the scrunchie on her arm.
That's a good question. They did announce yesterday or day before that they are expecting again. Okay. She had a miscarriage last year, and so they've kind of been delicate in announcing that they're going to expecting their second on the way. I did think we watched the NCIS Los Angeles from this week last night.
Okay.
And they very cleverly, one of the NCIS or FBI agents that was guesting on the show was named Meghan Markle, but she looked just like Meghan Markle. So they wrote it into the fiction, into the scripted series, that it was this investigator
very, very close,
who looked a lot like
Yeah.
Meghan Markle,
Very, very
whose
close.
name was Meghan Merkel.
Was she
and
married to Larry?
I don't think she was married to a ginger named Harry. I'm not sure. but
Larry.
Larry. That's exactly right. Instead of Mountbatten. I'm sorry. Bridgerton's Phoebe Dynevor.
Were there other characters?
Dynevor shuts down the Regé Page romance rumors. So apparently there was some speculation that the two of them were Bridgertoning.
Yeah.
Don't know. And she says no.
Yeah, no. I mean, he is the prettiest man in the world.
She says no. The CDC and Warner Media have teamed up for a new PSA featuring Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, Harry Potter series, etc. They're also digitally adding masks and other coronavirus reminders to classic movies like Casablanca. Yeah, here's coughing on you, kid. What?
I'm confused. Which doesn't take much.
Fictional characters being drawn with masks to remind.
Okay.
All right. But it made me wonder, so they did not have this idea last year?
Well, but aren't they superheroes so they don't get the COVID?
Well, Humphrey Bogart isn't in Casablanca, but...
No, but...
But if you're Warner Media, though, did you all just now think of this? Or all of a sudden, oh, hey, we're living in Biden world now. We can do things to help. We can support things now. Whereas last year, like, oh, no, we're not doing anything that might help anybody. This made me laugh. A great Valentine's gift. Well, some would call it a savage Valentine's gift. A wife roasted a husband with a savage Valentine's gift of women's Instagram snaps that he liked. She noticed that he had a tendency to be liking other women's posts on Instagram.
Okay.
So she decided to print out pictures of them and put them on little sticks.
Good for you.
Isn't that awesome?
Well,
that is so
it
awesome.
may backfire if he goes to bed with that instead of you.
Another guy said, I'm going to need a
Puts that
bigger
on his
box.
nightstand, right?
I'm gonna need a bigger
Pretty sure there's going to be some divorce
Need a
papers
bigger
in the bottom of
box.
that box.
That's
Just
funny.
saying.
That's pretty well done. Got to get to a break. We'll come back, finish it up for the morning here on In the Know.
There's a scene in the movie A Beautiful Mind that illustrates the importance of truth. The movie is based on the life of John Nash, who wins a Nobel Prize for Economics in 1994. Prior to that accomplishment, John spends years working for an FBI agent who needs his help scouring American newspapers for secret Russian code. All through those years, John's best friends are his college buddy Charles and Charles's niece Marcy. As the movie unfolds, the audience discovers that John has schizophrenia and that Charles, Marcy, and the FBI agent are all figments of John's imagination. Yet, to John, they're very real. After a tremendous struggle, John finally realizes just one small bit of truth that allows him to separate reality from fiction. Charles, Marcy, and the FBI agent can't be real because they're the only people in John's life who never get any older. We all can be deceived at times and believe a lie about marriage, about parenting, about God, or about ourselves. So what's the solution? What can you do to overcome these lies and enjoy healthy relationships, better careers, or overcome past regrets? There's only one antidote to a lie, and that's the truth. Lies will imprison you, and only the truth can set you free. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
We're off and running, Kentucky. Thousands of Kentuckians have already received the COVID-19 vaccine, and more doses continue to arrive. We're on our way to getting folks back to work and getting our kids back at school. It's a shot of relief, a shot of hope. All you have to do is keep doing your part. We can't all get the vaccine at once, but we'll all get a turn. Get the facts at kycovid19.ky.gov.
At the University of Kentucky, there are no bounds to our campus, no limits to our ambitions. Now you can earn a degree from UK anywhere. Every day we're expanding our reach and impact for a world that moves faster and demands more. Over 30 degrees and certificates, 100% online, from Kentucky's flagship university. We're prepared to adapt, grow, build, challenge, and succeed. Together. Find your program at uky.edu/ukonline.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. Aren't these better product slogans than the ones you know? Are you ready? Internet Explorer. Since 1995, the best way to download Google Chrome.
Yes.
All right.
We appreciate your part you played.
BMW. You might as well buy one. You already drive like a jerk.
That is terrible.
Disney. Slowly taking over the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it slow, though?
Over the span of all time, probably slow. Lego. Ouch.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't own that, but they should.
They should.
Nike. Do it. Don't do it. We don't care. Just buy the shoes.
Just keep buying the shoes.
Amen.
Just buy the shoes.
Just keep thinking we make you jump higher.
Twitter, where the antisocial come to socialize.
Where they find their voice.
Facebook, we just sold your identity. But look, a cat video. This one's for your sister, Shamey. Crocs, it's okay to give up. You were showing me a Crocs special today. You found Crocs in 100 jibs for $10.
For $10.99,
pretty
right?
impressed with you.
Yeah, I know. You should be.
Dyson, we suck.
Yeah. We're extra.
And hand sanitizer. Now let's find that paper cut. Yeah, it hurts.
Soggy food again.
It's a Hertz donut.
Yeah.
On television tonight, two shows that I'm pretty interested in. One, Kenan. Love Kenan Thompson. Always love Kenan Thompson on SNL. Never watched Kenan and Cal. I just didn't know Kenan until he got to SNL.
Yeah.
But and by the way, he says he has no plans to leave SNL.
Okay.
So he'll be, if not, he's already the longest running.
Is he?
Yeah, he's got to
Okay.
be. It's
At
just
this
nobody's
point,
been on
yeah.
longer than he has. And then before that, though, the Young Rock. So Dwayne The Rock Johnson, it's a show loosely based on his life. But in this, he's getting ready to run for president in 2032. And while he's doing that, he's looking back at his life.
Okay.
And the things that formed him into who he is today. And, he had kind of a famous wrestling family. And so the promo has like Andre the Giant in it and some of these things that it was like to live his life. So I guess I'll give it a try.
Interesting. Okay.
NBC certainly needs some help. I mean, other than This Is Us, I guess Amsterdam's coming back in a couple of weeks. We watch that, but there's really not much. I've given up on The Blacklist. I can't.
I watched a couple shows and it never really grabbed me.
It's just all the same thing. It's just like, come on. And I like James Spader.
Sure,
It's
love
just
him.
the same. Today's highlight, I guess I was just wanting it to be more Boston legal than I am to be like The Blacklist. Today's highlight in history, this day in 1959, Fidel Castro became premier of Cuba. In 1862, the Civil War Battle of Fort Donelson in Tennessee ended as some 12,000 Confederate soldiers surrendered. In 1961, the United States launched the Explorer 9 satellite. 10 years ago today, bookstore chain Borders filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Birthdays today. LeVar Burton is 64 today.
Oh, wow.
Reading Rainbow to you.
Goodness.
He was also on the Star Trek, The Next Generation. But I watched the first episode of Roots over the weekend.
Okay.
Sundance was showing it, I think, all 8. And I realized I hadn't seen it since I was a kid and was going to be anxious to see what my takeaways were from watching Alex Haley. I mean, it's a miniseries that changed television. It changed the line of thinking. It gave a lot of Americans, including myself, better understanding for the history of African Americans and the suffrage and those things. And I think hopefully made me more empathetic to those types of things. But I also thought, I haven't seen this in 40 years. I would like to kind of see entertainment and movies were made differently then. Language was different. If a person didn't know what they were getting into and they saw it, they would probably be offended. But it was also weird to see O.J. Simpson starring in a television miniseries.
I didn't realize he
I don't
was
know
in
that
that.
he was necessarily starring, but he's in the first episode.
Okay.
But interestingly enough, they go through this cast. Edward Asner, back when he was Edward Asner, he wasn't Ed Asner, he was Edward Asner, a lot of these other famous actors. And then at the end of the introduction, it says, and introducing LeVar Burton. Like it was LeVar Burton's coming out role as Kunta Kinte.
Yeah.
And it was, anyway, I've got the other 7 to watch. But it was, I'm going to spend the time to watch it at some point in time. Ice-T is 63 today.
Oh, dear.
Didn't they just have a baby like a couple years ago?
I don't know, but it is going to be weird to watch. Yes, the Thornbird, and I immediately thought of the North and the South.
Yeah.
The North and the South, Linda, was Patrick Swayze's coming out. Dixie Carter was in the North and the South.
Okay.
It was kind of her coming out. That was before Designing Women, but Patrick Swayze was introduced to the world in the North and the South
Really?
miniseries. Yes,
Okay, didn't realize
absolutely.
that.
There's something funny to me about some of these rappers that we grew up listening to and knowing about when they turned 63. Like Ice-T is going to be 63. Just seems a little bit
Yeah.
odd. He's probably getting closer to lukewarm tea.
I think so.
Probably.
Maybe an unsweetened tea.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Sorry about that yesterday too, by the way.
That's
Your
okay.
unsweetened tea. It wasn't my fault.
I nursed on it all day, but I finally gave it up.
Well, mine's still sitting in there on the counter.
poured mine out this morning.
John McEnroe is 62. Andy Taylor is 60. We were going for the Diet Coke, but
Yeah.
the Diet Coke wasn't available. And actor Mahershala Ali is 47 today. If you're not seeing The Green Book, watch it.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
Mahershala Ali does an excellent job
You should.
in The Green Book. Let's see if there are any Gone But Not Forgottens you should be made aware of. Hugh Beaumont in 1909. Hugh Beaumont played Ward Cleaver on Leave It to Beaver. James Ingram, 1952, Find 100 Ways. Margot Hemingway was born in 1954. Chart toppers. See if I can rustle up a mess of chart toppers for you today. Let's go to 1959. That's what Misty's singing to LeVar Burton. Happy birthday to the Reading Rainbow.
Has he co-hosted Jeopardy yet?
He
Or
has
he
not.
hosted? He's hosting.
He
or
has not.
co-hosting,
Yeah,
right?
he's hosting. He's guest
Yeah.
hosting. No, but some guy starts next week who I don't know.
Uh-oh.
And he's hosting for like a month. So I think they're going to give maybe everybody a month. What did
When's
they get
your
into?
month?
I have November.
Good.
Yeah. I'll not be available to make Thanksgiving dinner this year because I'll be hosting Jeopardy.
All right.
The Classics 4, Spooky. Number 1 this date in 1968. Or as Alea would say, or used to say. Now she's found the S's, but she would have said this is Pookie.
Pookie.
Yes. The Classics 4 and Pookie.
Love when they say things wrong.
Kind of miss it too. That's
And
Pookie.
I miss that so much.
Pookie. And can I get a crap of paper? 1977. Manfred Mann. Blinded by the Light.
Eli always turned his L's into Y's, and Gemma does that, so I love it. It's a Yemen.
Yemen. Whitney Houston, number 1 in 86. How Will I Know? Brandy, Baby in 95. Outcast, The Way You Move in 04. Bruno Mars, Locked Out of Heaven, number 1 this date in 2013. Stay warm. Check on your pets, check on your neighbors, check on your, it's going to be cold, and with limited mobility, people may need your help today, so just be aware of that. And 211, is that still an option, Misty? Even on days like today. So if you find yourself in a situation where you need help and don't know where to turn, that's a good place to start.
Yeah, it's a
and
resource
I think
hotline.
your friends and neighbors would be willing to step up and help too. MB's Prolo Wisdom for today. Success isn't owned, it's leased, and rent is due every day. Success isn't owned, it's leased, and rent is due every day. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Misty Thomas, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powered by Heritage Media of Kentucky, WKHG Litchfield, Kentucky, USA, 104.9 FM, the Twin Lakes Best Mix.